Hi, it's Sandra here from Create in Spain. I have developed a method of making multi-sided boxes in quite an easy fashion. By that I mean things like hexagons, pentagons, you name it, agons, um, depending on how many sides you want, but the method is the same pretty much for all of them. Once you've actually got a file done that you really like, you have two methods of resizing it. You can select everything and scale it. That works for the most part. The only time when you might want to do something different is if you're going to use a different weight material to make up the box. The thicker your card, the more of an allowance you're going to need for the lid. So what I've basically done is started off with the side shape, and I know this seems kind of backwards, but this is the way that it works. So these are all the pieces that I would have for my box. And if I select this, for example, and pull it to one side and this one here, these are the sides of my lid and my base. The base is a little different in that it is shallower. I wanted a longer or a deeper width for the lid, but also that the base is sized to precisely the size I want the box to be. So if I want my box sides to be 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, that is the width that I give that particular shape. With this one, what I do is I add either 1/2 mil or 3/4 of a mil or 1 mil, depending on how loose you like your lid to be. If you put an extra 1 mil on, it's probably going to be fairly loose. If you don't, then it's going to be tighter. It does have to be ever so slightly bigger than the ones that you're using for the base, because it's very difficult to get the lid on if it's exactly the same size. So to start off with, I'm just going to put a new page in here, so I'm going to do that. And I can't be bothered to draw a new shape, so I'm going to demonstrate with this one. So I'm just going to copy that, go to my other page, paste it, and ungroup it, because I don't need that bit. Oops, take that away. Okay, so this particular one is 3.029. Let's make this 3 centimeters, just because we can. Now I'm just going to show you how to do this one piece, the lid or the base. It's done the same way, it's just the resizing of it that is slightly different. So assuming this was my base, if I was going to be making the lid, I would make that 3.05 or 3.075 or whatever it is that I decided I wanted my lid sizing to be. Bearing in mind, as I said, that the thicker the card you're using, the more of a difference you're going to see. So with this one, I want to copy it and I want to paste it. And the reason for that is because to do decor panels, I'll probably want to do an offset. And once I've used this, I don't want to have to go all the way back, take it back to nothing again and get that image so I can put an offset on. So this is the one that I would put an offset on. So I'm just going to go to Effects, Shadow Layer, Inset Shadow, remember, and I've generally chosen to leave it at 1.27, but just to make it very obvious this time, I'll put in a 0.2. There we go. So you can see that that is definitely an offset of this one. So that's finished with. Now, we just need to come in here and zoom in. And we pick our shape, and we want to take it apart a bit. So we get the knife tool and we do a cut in that top left corner and in the bottom right corner. And then when we select that, we break it apart. And we select this line here and we turn it into a different colour, simply so you know what you're doing with it. Or you can make it dashed lines, your preference. I go by colour. And now I want to group that again. Now next I go up to Object, Duplicate Rotated, and I go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because I want 6 sides. Now I alter the rotate, the vertical offset, and I put this up until the corners here basically meet. Now if I put this up again, I know it's going to be too much. Now the offset at the moment is 4.3. If I lower that to 4.0, nothing happens immediately. If I press my enter button, it'll automatically do it and it doesn't give me the chance to undo it and put something else in. So let's go back and do this again. So duplicate rotated. Okay, put this up again. I'm going to put it down there because that's the closest. Now I need to increase this a little bit. So it's 3.3 at the moment. I'm going to go for 3.4, and this is just guesswork. I'm sorry, but it has to be guesswork. I haven't found a mathematical way of doing this. Now, if you take your numbers back down and then put them back up, it applies the new offset. Now, it's still ever so slightly too close. So I'm going to need to increase that slightly. 4, 5 maybe. Maybe that will do the trick. Again, take this down and then put it back up to 6. Yeah, bingo. I want to group it and click OK. Now if I zoom in here, you can see that these corners meet quite nicely. That's brilliant, that's what I need. Right, so the only other thing I have to do for the lid is to take a line and go from there to there, like so, and go all the way around. Now you might say, why didn't I just put that line on there before I rotated it? It messes up the rotation, that's why. Simple as that. It just doesn't work if you put the line in first. And it's not much work to go around here, just joining them up. It doesn't have to be super duper precise. As long as it is reasonably close, you'll be able to cut it and take it off the mat. So if you're really fussy, you can zoom in till you can see practically every pixel, but you know, can I be bothered with that? No, I can't. So that is the top done, and basically all you do is group it and it's ready to cut. Right, the sides, depending on, let's go back to the fit to window. Depending on the size of the box that you're making, because I've made one which is quite big and you can only just get this on an A4 size, let alone the sides. You can do your sides in one piece. For example, 3 centimetre box, no problem, you can get it in there, no issue at all. But if you're doing the larger ones, you probably need to split it into 2 lots. So all you do is you go to your rectangle. Oops, that didn't work, did it? Let's go to rectangle. There we go, rectangle. I want my box to be 7.354 centimetres high. I'm not going to bother to do that. If I had a 3 centimetre sided box, I'd have 6 lots of 3, which is 18 centimetres, plus another 1 centimetre for overlap. So I'd want that to be 19 centimetres. If you're doing it in 2 pieces, then you add together your 3 sides plus 1 centimetre and just cut it twice. So 19 centimetres in there. Okay. Now for the score lines, it's relatively simple. Do a horizontal line, holding down the key. You can make it the same width. I'm not going to bother, but you can make it the same width. And you go to Object, and you go to Duplicate, and you go to, oops, not that one, to 3, 4, 5, 6. I want, let's put in 7 to be on the safe side. I can never remember how many lines I need. And I want this to be 3.0 centimeters. So they're all 3 centimeters apart. And I want to change those so they're pink, like so. And I want, for the moment, just to group them. And now what I do is I make sure that these are the same level. So I match up the top or the bottom, whichever way I'm going to do it. So I now ungroup these, take away that one there. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Right, group these again. Select them all. Make sure this keep proportions is not checked because that does funny things sometimes. And just line them up in the middle. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides and an overlap. So that's my sides. Basically what you do is you make up the base, you make up the top, and you make this up so that it's in a circular fashion. And then you fold that in half or crease it up, whatever you like, concertina, whatever. And when this is made up, you put glue around 3 of these sides, stick in 3 sides, and because it's regular, it's 6-sided, you can actually literally fold it in half and put it in, then put the glue around the other 3 sides of the base, and then pop it out and just press it all around so that the base fits. And that's it. That's how you actually do it. For decoration, I've just gone for simple offsets. You can also have a hexagon or whatever to put in the inside if you so wish, but that's how I've created the file. I said to upscale it or down, well, you wouldn't want downscale from 3 centimeters, but to upscale it, simply scale it up. Or if you really want to be absolutely precise, go for your original shape and just upscale that and then do it all again. Choice is yours. Okay, so that's how you do it. Thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye bye.